Hello, in this video we're going to discuss creating a press-ready PDF so you can submit your job to be printed. Now what I have in front of me here is a short tab. I don't know how many pages it is, but there is a short tab here, and let's just say, for example, we have reviewed this whole thing and we like what it is and we're ready to send it to press. There are a couple of things you have to do before sending it to press. It's kind of important. Go to the type menu up at the top up here, pull down to find font. Let's check to make sure all our fonts are being used or that are active. If you scroll through the fonts that you're using in your document, what you're looking for is a red or a yellow alert right in this area. And if you see, let's say this very first one has an alert, you click on it, it tells you that that font is not active in your system and you're going to have problems when you print it. But you can replace that by going down to the second section here, replace with, and choose the font that you want to replace it with. And when you're done with that, you can just change all. Now, if you are changing those fonts to something else, I recommend you go through your document and make sure that you don't have any reflow or the fonts running off the page or the text running off the page or something like that. But if it's simply locating the exact same font and maybe you see it, you can actually click Find First and it'll take you to where it's being used. And then you can click a single change of that font and you can see how it changes. And if you think, okay, that didn't really change very much at all, you don't have to worry too much about it. But check all of your fonts. Make sure you don't have any alerts here. If you do, just deal with them. And let's go back to wherever we were. And this document isn't actually ready for press. It's I'm missing fonts. But let's just say I wasn't. The second thing you want to do is you want to go to your links palette. You'll find that in Window to Links right here. And it's the same thing. We want to look for any red indicator alerts or any yellow alerts. And that's going to tell you there's a particular problem with that image. This one, for example, if we click on that, we can go to links, see exactly where that is. It's on page 8, and it takes you right to that link. It's this one down here. It's highlighted. You can see the handlebars around it. And it's telling us it's been modified. You can update that link by clicking this swirly icon here and watch when you update it to make sure that it doesn't change. You see how that changed, and we would want to resize that to fit. And in this case, it's going to look really bad. But you want to check for that. Now, if it's on the pasteboard, here's a red indicator. It's on the pasteboard. You don't have to worry about that because you're not printing your pasteboard, and you probably have a lot of things on the pasteboard that aren't linked. But there are a couple others. These are actually folders, so if you click on that, you'll see there's more. But just address each and every one of those. You can click on that and go to link, see what it is. You can update it, or you can actually relink. Let's say it's completely missing. Click on the relink button. It'll open a browser window. You can browse through your files to find that actual image and update it that way. So make sure your links are all good. Once you have your links all set, your fonts are all set, it's time to create the press ready PDF. And we have very specific, to be redundant, specific specifications to use. So you would go to File menu and Export. It's also Command or Control E, and that brings up the export box. You will name your file here and locate where you want to put it in your, like on your desktop or in your publication folder or something like that. And then the format, you have to be careful. We want to use Adobe PDF Print. A common mistake is Adobe PDF Interactive because it says PDF, and we're thinking, oh, that's what we want. No, it's print. Make sure it says print, and then you can click Save. And then the very first item we have here is a pull-down menu that gives you some preset choices. Start off with press quality or high quality print. And that will populate all of these categories here on the left side with the settings for that preset. And the next item you want to do is make sure you're doing all of your pages, not just arrange, and export as pages or spreads. We will want pages. We don't want spreads because that will put it into reader spreads, which we can't use because we don't print in reader spreads. Reader spreads would be where page 2 is next to page 3, so the reader can read them in order. We don't print them in order. You might be able to see that when you look at our videos of how the press works. So you'll go pages here, and let's see, the next item, that is actually it. Because of the presets, we have plenty of resolution set up. We're not using any marks or bleeds. And no color conversion. So this is all set. So we would just hit export and you get any warnings that you get, go ahead and deal with them. I've got all kinds of warnings because this is just a sample document. It will generate a PDF, and I recommend you take a look at that PDF carefully, proof it one more time before submitting it to print, because that's the time to check for any errors or mistakes. I hope you found this video helpful, and give us a call if you have any questions.